My beloved friends, children of light and seekers of divine peace, have you ever walked through your own home and felt an inexplicable heaviness pressing down upon your spirit like a suffocating blanket? Perhaps you've noticed how arguments seem to erupt from nowhere, how restless sleep has become the norm rather than peaceful slumber, or how that once joyful atmosphere in your dwelling has been replaced by an oppressive cloud that refuses to lift no matter what you try. If these experiences resonate deeply within your heart, know that you are not walking this difficult path alone. Across the globe, countless souls have discovered that their homes, those sacred spaces meant to be havens of love and tranquility, have somehow become battlegrounds where negative energies gather like storm clouds, disrupting the harmony that God intended for every family sanctuary. Tonight, as your spiritual guide and humble servant of the Most High, I come to you with a revelation that has transformed thousands of homes from places of spiritual oppression into sanctuaries of divine peace. What I am about to share with you is not mere folklore or superstition, but ancient wisdom rooted in centuries of spiritual practice, validated by countless testimonies of families whose lives have been completely transformed through this sacred ritual. Before we embark on this life-changing journey together, I invite you to pause and connect with our global family of light seekers. Take a moment to comment below with your first name and the beautiful place from which you join us tonight. Whether it's a bustling city where millions of souls cry out for peace, a quiet countryside where God's whispers echo through the trees, or a coastal town where the eternal rhythm of waves speaks of divine faithfulness. Then, with a heart open to transformation, write these powerful words that will echo through the heavens. I choose peace for my home. This is not merely a comment, but a sacred declaration that will align your dwelling with divine frequencies and open the floodgates of spiritual cleansing that awaits you. The ancient wisdom of sacred smoke. Let me share with you a story that has remained etched upon my heart since visiting a humble monastery nestled in the mountains of Tibet, where ancient traditions of spiritual purification have been preserved for over 1,000 years. There I encountered Brother Michael, a Western monk whose own journey led him to discover the profound power of sacred herbs in spiritual warfare. Brother Michael told me of his early days when he first arrived at the monastery, carrying with him the spiritual burdens of a troubled past, years of anxiety, broken relationships, and a deep sense that dark forces seemed to follow him wherever he went. His small dwelling within the monastery walls felt heavy with an oppressive presence that made prayer difficult and peaceful sleep nearly impossible. The wise abbot, recognizing the spiritual battle raging around the sincere seeker, introduced him to an ancient practice that would change everything. Each evening at sunset, Brother Michael would light specific herbs in a small clay vessel, allowing the sacred smoke to fill every corner of his room while offering heartfelt prayers for purification and protection. Within 3 days, Brother Michael shared with tears of gratitude in his eyes, the entire atmosphere of my dwelling was transformed. The heaviness that had plagued me for years simply vanished like morning mist before the rising sun. My prayers became powerful and focused, my sleep became deep and refreshing, and a tangible sense of divine presence filled the space where darkness had once reigned. What Brother Michael discovered, and what I now share with you, is that certain herbs, when burned with proper intention and sincere faith, possess the remarkable ability to cleanse spiritual atmospheres, dispel negative energies, and create sacred spaces where divine light can dwell freely. This is not coincidence or imagination, my dear friends. Throughout history, cultures across the globe have recognized that specific plants carry spiritual properties that can purify environments and restore harmony to disrupted spaces. From the frankincense burned in ancient temples to the sage used by indigenous peoples for ceremonial cleansing, humanity has long understood that the natural world provides powerful tools for spiritual transformation. The science behind sacred smoke. Modern research has begun to validate what ancient wisdom has always known, that burning certain herbs produces negative ions that literally purify the air, while their aromatic compounds affect the limbic system of our brains, promoting feelings of calm, clarity, and spiritual openness. When we combine this scientific understanding with sincere spiritual intention, we create a powerful synergy that can transform the entire energetic frequency of our living spaces. But the power of these herbs extends far beyond mere atmospheric chemistry. Each plant I will share with you tonight has been specifically chosen for its unique spiritual properties, its ability to address different types of negative energy, and its harmonious resonance with divine frequencies that invite peace, protection, and blessing into your home. The 5 sacred herbs of transformation. First sacred herb, white sage, the great purifier. White sage stands as the most powerful and revered cleansing herb known to spiritual practitioners worldwide. Native American traditions have recognized sage as a sacred plant for thousands of years, using it in smudging ceremonies to clear negative energies, purify sacred spaces, and create spiritual protection around homes and communities. When white sage burns, it releases a distinctive, powerful smoke that seems to actively seek out and neutralize negative energies wherever they may be hiding. I have witnessed homes where the very air seemed thick with spiritual oppression transform within minutes of sage smoke filling the space, as if the herb were literally pushing darkness out through windows and doorways. The active compounds in white sage, particularly the essential oils released when burned, create an environment where negative entities and oppressive spiritual forces cannot remain comfortable or maintain their influence. It's as if the smoke creates a spiritual pressure that compels darkness to flee, leaving behind only peace and clarity. How to use white sage for maximum effectiveness. Begin your cleansing ritual as the sun sets, marking the transition from day to night when spiritual barriers are most permeable. Light your sage bundle or loose sage leaves in a fireproof bowl, allowing the flame to catch briefly before gently blowing it out to create a steady stream of aromatic smoke. Starting at your front door, the primary entry point for all energies entering your home, hold the smoking sage high and declare with authority, "By this sacred smoke I command all negative energy to leave this space immediately and never return. Only love, peace, and divine light are welcome in this sanctuary." Walk slowly through each room, paying special attention to corners where stagnant energy tends to accumulate, closets where darkness might hide, and areas where family tensions frequently arise. As you move through your home, visualize the smoke actively pushing out all heaviness, discord, and spiritual oppression, replacing them with brilliant white light that fills every space. Second sacred herb, lavender, the harmony restorer. Lavender carries within its purple blossoms the divine frequency of peace, tranquility, and emotional healing. While many people know lavender for its calming effects on the nervous system, few understand its profound ability to restore harmony to disrupted households and heal the emotional wounds that create openings for negative energies to enter our homes. In medieval times, lavender was considered so powerful for spiritual protection that it was often planted around homes to create barriers against evil influences, while bundles of dried lavender were hung above doorways to ensure that only peaceful intentions could enter the dwelling. When burned as incense or in loose dried form, lavender smoke works like a gentle but persistent healing balm, soothing the invisible emotional scars that family members carry from past hurts, unresolved conflicts, and daily stresses that accumulate in our living spaces. It has the remarkable ability to soften hardened hearts, promote forgiveness, and create an atmosphere where love can flourish once again. I recall visiting a family in rural France whose home had become a battlefield of constant arguments and bitter silences following a painful betrayal that had torn their family apart. After implementing a nightly lavender burning ritual for just 1 week, the mother contacted me with amazement. It's as if a gentle hand has touched our hearts. We're actually talking again, laughing again, loving again. The lavender peace ritual. Each evening before bedtime, light dried lavender flowers in a ceramic dish and carry the fragrant smoke to each bedroom in your home. As the soothing aroma fills these intimate spaces where we rest and dream, offer this prayer. Divine Spirit of Peace, let this lavender smoke heal all wounds, soften all hearts, and restore harmony to our family relationships. Focus especially on the bedrooms of family members who have been experiencing conflict, allowing the smoke to linger while you pray specifically for healing, understanding, and renewed love between those who have been hurt or divided. Third sacred herb, rosemary, the memory cleanser and protection shield. Rosemary, with its needle-like leaves and powerful aromatic oils, has been revered since ancient times as a herb of remembrance, protection, and spiritual clarity. Greek scholars wore rosemary wreaths while studying because it was believed to enhance memory and mental clarity, while medieval households burned rosemary to protect against plague and evil influences. What makes rosemary particularly powerful for spiritual cleansing is its unique ability to clear what we might call energetic memories, those invisible imprints left behind by traumatic events, negative emotions, or harmful activities that have occurred in our homes. Every space holds memory within its walls, and sometimes these memories can create ongoing disturbances long after the original events have passed. When rosemary burns, its smoke seems to actively erase these troubling energetic imprints, clearing the spiritual slate clean and allowing your home to be filled with fresh, positive energy. It's particularly effective for homes where previous occupants may have engaged in harmful activities, where traumatic events have occurred, or where negative patterns seem to repeat despite your best efforts to create change. The Rosemary Renewal Ceremony. Once per week, preferably on Sunday evening as you prepare for a fresh start, burn dried rosemary throughout your home while walking through each room and declaring, "By this sacred smoke, I cleanse all negative memories from this space. I command every harmful imprint to be erased and replaced with divine blessing and protection." Pay particular attention to areas where you sense heaviness or where problems seem to consistently arise. Perhaps a room where arguments frequently occur, a space where you feel uncomfortable, or areas where previous occupants may have left troubling energetic residue. Fourth sacred herb, cedar, the ancient guardian. Cedar has been considered sacred by cultures across the globe for its powerful protective properties and its ability to create spiritual barriers against harmful influences. From the cedar of Lebanon used in Solomon's temple to the cedar used by Native American tribes for purification ceremonies, this aromatic wood has consistently been recognized as a guardian plant that watches over homes and families. When cedar burns, it releases a warm, woody smoke that seems to create invisible barriers of protection around your dwelling, like spiritual sentries standing guard at every entrance and window. It's particularly effective against what we might call intentional negative energy, harmful thoughts, jealousy, or ill will directed toward your family by others who may wish you harm. I remember a family who came to me after experiencing what could only be described as a spiritual attack. Unexplained illnesses, financial disasters striking one after another, and a series of coincidences that suggested someone was actively working against their well-being through negative spiritual practices. After implementing a nightly cedar burning ritual, these attacks ceased completely, and their family's fortunes began to turn around dramatically. A cedar shield ritual. On the first day of each month, burn cedar chips or shavings in a metal bowl while walking the perimeter of your property. If you live in an apartment, walk around the interior walls of your living space. As the protective smoke fills the air, pray, "Sacred cedar, ancient guardian, create an impenetrable shield of protection around this home and family. Let no harm, no ill will, no negative energy penetrate this sacred boundary." Fifth sacred herb, frankincense, the divine connector. Frankincense, perhaps the most sacred of all herbs, has been used for spiritual purposes for over 5,000 years. This precious resin, once worth its weight in gold, was one of the gifts presented to the infant Jesus, recognizing its profound spiritual significance and its unparalleled ability to create connection between earthly and divine realms. When frankincense burns, it produces smoke that seems to lift prayers directly to heaven, while simultaneously drawing down divine blessings into our earthly dwellings. It purifies not just negative energy, but actually elevates the entire spiritual frequency of a space, making it a fitting dwelling place for divine presence. Unlike the other herbs, which primarily focus on clearing negative influences, frankincense actively invites positive spiritual energy into your home, creating an atmosphere where miracles can occur. Prayers are readily answered, and divine guidance becomes easily accessible to all who dwell within the blessed space. The frankincense blessing ritual. On holy days and special occasions, or whenever you feel called to invite a deeper level of divine presence into your home, burn frankincense resin on charcoal discs while kneeling in prayer. As the sacred smoke rises, offer this petition: "Holy frankincense, carrier of prayers, lift our supplications to the throne of the Most High and draw down his abundant blessings upon this dwelling and all who enter here. The complete home cleansing protocol. Now that you understand the unique properties of each sacred herb, let me share with you the complete protocol that has transformed thousands of homes from places of spiritual turmoil into sanctuaries of divine peace and protection. Phase 1, the Great Cleansing, first week. For 7 consecutive evenings, perform a complete home cleansing using white sage. This initial phase will remove layers of accumulated negative energy that may have built up over months or years of spiritual neglect. Each evening at sunset, light your sage and systematically move through every room of your home, allowing the smoke to reach every corner, every closet, and every hidden space where negativity might be lurking. As you cleanse each area, command all darkness to leave and never return. Phase 2, Harmony Restoration, second week. During the second week, alternate between lavender and rosemary, using lavender on nights when family harmony needs strengthening, and rosemary when you sense the need for deeper cleansing of energetic memories or protection from external influences. Phase 3, ongoing protection, monthly maintenance. Once your home has been thoroughly cleansed and harmonized, maintain this blessed state through monthly cedar ceremonies for protection and occasional frankincense rituals to invite deeper divine presence. The miraculous transformations. Let me share with you some of the remarkable testimonies I have received from families who have faithfully implemented this sacred herb protocol. Maria from Spain wrote, "After just 3 days of sage cleansing, my teenage son, who had been rebellious and angry for months, came to me with tears in his eyes and asked for forgiveness. The change in our home's atmosphere has been nothing short of miraculous." David from Canada shared, "We had been struggling with unexplained financial problems and constant sickness in our family. After implementing the 5-herb protocol, not only did these problems cease, but we began experiencing unexpected blessings and opportunities that have completely transformed our lives." Sarah from Australia testified, "I was skeptical at first, but desperate for peace in our home. After 1 month of faithful herb burning, even our neighbors have commented on how different our family seems. There's a joy and lightness in our house that we haven't experienced in years." Important guidelines for sacred practice. While these herbs are powerful tools for spiritual transformation, they must be used with proper reverence, clear intention, and genuine faith to achieve maximum effectiveness. Preparation of heart and space. Before beginning any cleansing ritual, spend time in prayer or meditation, aligning your heart with divine will and setting clear intentions for the cleansing you wish to accomplish. Ensure your home is clean and organized, as physical clutter can trap spiritual energy and hinder the cleansing process. Safety considerations. Always use fireproof containers when burning herbs. Ensure adequate ventilation to prevent smoke buildup, and never leave burning materials unattended. Keep water nearby for safety, and be mindful of smoke detectors that might be triggered by the cleansing smoke. Timing and frequency. The most powerful times for spiritual cleansing are during sunset hours, when the veil between physical and spiritual realms is thinnest, during the new moon, when negative energies are weakest, and on Sundays, when divine energy is particularly accessible for blessing homes and families. Combining with other spiritual practices for maximum effectiveness, combine your herb burning rituals with other forms of spiritual practice such as prayer, meditation, reading sacred texts, or playing sacred music. The herbs work most powerfully when they are part of a comprehensive approach to creating sacred space, creating your sacred herb kit. To begin your transformation journey, you will need to acquire high-quality, properly dried herbs from reputable sources. Avoid herbs that have been treated with chemicals or pesticides, as these will interfere with their spiritual properties. Essential supplies: white sage, either in bundles or loose dried leaves, dried lavender flowers, dried rosemary leaves, cedar chips or small cedar pieces, frankincense, resin with charcoal discs, fireproof ceramic or metal bowl, long matches or lighter, small dish of water for safety, storage and care. Store your sacred herbs in airtight containers away from direct sunlight to preserve their potency. Before each use, hold the herbs in your hands and offer a brief prayer of gratitude for their power to serve in your spiritual practice. Beyond the herbs, maintaining your sacred space. While the 5 sacred herbs will create the foundation for your home's spiritual transformation, maintaining this blessed state requires ongoing attention to the spiritual climate of your dwelling. Daily practices for sustained peace. Begin each morning with a prayer of blessing over your home, asking for divine protection throughout the day. End each evening with gratitude for the peace and safety your family has experienced. Weekly spiritual maintenance. Set aside time each week to walk through your home with heightened spiritual awareness, noting any areas where tension might be building or where the atmosphere feels heavy, and address these concerns immediately through targeted cleansing. Monthly deep cleansing. Once per month, perform a complete spiritual inventory of your home, examining not just the physical cleanliness, but the emotional and spiritual health of all who dwell within your sanctuary. The ripple effect of sacred space. When you transform your home into a sanctuary, through faithful use of these sacred herbs, the positive effects extend far beyond your immediate family. Your dwelling becomes a beacon of light in your neighborhood, a place where divine energy radiates outward to bless others. Visitors to your home will immediately sense the peace and harmony that permeates your space, often commenting on how relaxed and welcome they feel within your walls. Some may be inspired to create their own sacred spaces, allowing the transformation to spread from home to home throughout your community. Children raised in spiritually cleansed homes develop stronger intuition, greater emotional stability, and natural protection against negative influences they encounter in the world. They carry this spiritual foundation with them wherever they go, becoming sources of light and peace in their schools, friendships, and future families. Your journey begins tonight, my beloved friends. The power to transform your home from a place of spiritual struggle into a sanctuary of divine peace lies within your hands tonight. These 5 sacred herbs, white, sage, lavender, rosemary, cedar, and frankincense, await your faithful use to unlock the remarkable ability to cleanse, protect, and bless your dwelling. Do not allow another day to pass living with the heaviness, discord, or oppression that has been robbing your family of the peace that God desires for every home. The transformation you seek is not months or years away. It can begin tonight with the simple act of lighting your first sage bundle and declaring your home a sanctuary of light. I encourage you to begin immediately with whatever herbs you can obtain, even if you must start with just 1 or 2 varieties. The spiritual realm responds to sincere intention and faithful action, not perfect preparation or complete supplies. Your declaration of transformation before you close this teaching and begin your sacred work, I invite you to make a solemn declaration that will echo through the heavens and set spiritual forces in motion on your behalf. Stand now in the center of your home. Raise your hands toward heaven and declare with authority and faith, by the power of the divine light that dwells within me, I reclaim this home as a sanctuary of peace, love, and protection. I banish all darkness, discord, and negative energy from this dwelling, and I invite only divine blessing and harmony to reign within these walls. Through the sacred smoke of these blessed herbs, I create an atmosphere where miracles can occur, prayers are answered, and divine presence is welcome. Let this home be a beacon of light in the world, place of refuge for all who enter, and a foundation of spiritual strength for generations to come. Write in the comments below, I choose peace for my home, followed by your first name and location. I will hold each of you in prayer as you begin this sacred journey of transformation. Share this divine wisdom with someone who needs peace in their dwelling, a friend struggling with family discord, a neighbor seeking spiritual breakthrough, or anyone whose home has become a battleground rather than a sanctuary. The time for transformation is now. The tools for victory are in your hands. The peace you have longed for awaits your faithful action. Light your first herb tonight and watch as the darkness flees before the advancing light of divine blessing. Your home's transformation begins with a single flame, a rising wisp of sacred smoke, and your unwavering faith in the power of these ancient gifts to restore what has been broken and protect what is precious. May your dwelling become a true sanctuary where divine light perpetually shines, where love reigns supreme, and where all who enter are blessed by the sacred atmosphere you have created through faithful practice of these timeless spiritual truths. The journey to your transformed home begins tonight. Light your herbs, open your heart, and prepare to witness miracles unfold within your very own walls.